on his back, fighting him off in the first round. And then they start in the second round. Chandler moves straight to him, and Oliveira just pieces him up.
Oh, yeah, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
he hit him with a clean left hook. It was clean.
I think I was there.
You might have been there.
Yeah, man, we had some good ass fights this year. And now, now Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's gonna fight Canelo.
Oh man,
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him, because Canelo hits so hard, man.
That's one dude that, like, I believe all the shit he be talking.
Crawford? Yeah. Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying shit. That dude,
They tried to say that, like, Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him, because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like, you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch it up. You know,
super accurate.
Oh, like, just knows so much about boxing, about where to be and what's coming. And
Joe Rogan has just warned Canelo Alvarez and asked him to avoid the Terence Crawford fight. The reigning 147-pound champions camp has confirmed that a deal is in place for him to face Mexico's three-division super middleweight king, Canelo Alvarez. His team has confirmed that the fight is set for September 13th. Discussing the matchup on a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience alongside stand-up comedian Brian Simpson, the UFC commentator couldn't contain his admiration for Crawford's brilliance in the ring while praising the boxing phenom. Rogan also took a moment to address a major controversy surrounding Crawford's 2023 victory over Errol Spence Jr. Following Crawford's dominant performance, speculation arose that Spence's diminished defense was a result of lasting damage from a devastating car accident he endured years prior.
He's a strategist that's also entertaining.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's an artist.
Like, remember like a young B-Hop?
Yes.
It was like just so sharp and made it look almost entertaining. You know what I mean?
Roy Jones in his prime. It was art. You were watching art. He's piecing up people. It was an art form. Whew. All right, Brian Simpson. Let's wrap this bitch up. Bring it home.
Let's do it.
Everybody, BS Comedian on Twitter, BS Comedian on Instagram.
BrianSimpsonComedy.com for tour tickets.
Netflix special.
Live from the mothership.
Bam.
Streaming right now.
That's it. Thank you, brother.
Later, bro.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh,
All right.
know what? One thing we forgot to talk about.
What?
I wanted to thank you for sending people to go watch that clip of WAP on YouTube.
Oh,
I got a lot of...
one of the best videos, or one of the best bits of all time. I love that bit. All right, go see it. It's on YouTube.
The JRE host pushed back, arguing that Crawford's sheer brilliance as a fighter made the outcome inevitable. He would have beaten Spence, injuries or not. Joe Rogan stated that some people had tried to argue that Errol's defense was weakened due to the effects of his car accident and what Crawford had done to him. However, he questioned that assumption, suggesting that Crawford might have achieved the same result even 3 years earlier, as he believed Crawford was exceptionally skilled. Rogan described Crawford as highly skillful and slick, emphasizing that he was the best in the sport at switch hitting, seamlessly transitioning from southpaw to orthodox, while maintaining the same level of effectiveness and confusing his opponents. He further mentioned that Crawford had extensive knowledge of boxing, particularly in terms of positioning and anticipating his opponent's moves. Looks like Rogan has taken quite a liking to the boxer, which explains his excitement for the showdown against Saul Canelo Alvarez. But while he's all in, not everyone is backing the American world champion.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner. Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt.
Mexican-American boxer David Benavides didn't hold back when discussing the potential showdown between super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez and American world champion Terence Crawford in an interview with TNT Sports. Benavides weighed in on both fighters' chances, acknowledging that each reigns supreme in their respective divisions. Fully aware of the magnitude of this matchup, He emphasized that it has all the makings of one of the most electrifying clashes in recent years, he said. To be honest with you, Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I have ever seen. When he went to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he looked like he didn't have the power he had at 147, and he'd still have to come up 2 or 3 weight classes. However, he believes Canelo is the clear favorite to win, given the natural advantages he holds at 168 lbs. Benavides further added, Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes must be respected. I'd give Canelo the edge. Joe Rogan, though, is hopeful that Terence Crawford will be able to be in shape enough to face Alvarez head-to-head. On the same episode of the podcast, the JRE host mentioned that the fighter was going to face Canelo. He expressed his concern about whether Crawford would be big enough to handle the challenge, emphasizing that he hoped he would be able to keep Canelo at bay. Rogan also noted how powerful Canelo's punches were, highlighting the difficulty of facing such a hard-hitting opponent. A potential September clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez in Las Vegas has boxing fans on the edge of their seats. Why? It's the classic clash of styles, strategic brilliance, and the challenge of bridging weight divisions. As excitement builds, the debate over who holds the upper hand rages on. Now, Jose Benavides, the elder brother of WBC interim light heavyweight champion David Benavides, has stepped into the discussion, adding fuel to the fire. At 32, Jose Benavides knows firsthand the power of Terence Crawford, having suffered a brutal knockout loss to him in their 2018 clash for the WBO welterweight title. With an up-close look at Crawford's skill set, he understands exactly what the undefeated 40-0, 31 KO champion brings to the ring. However, Benavides' prediction for the upcoming super fight isn't just based on experience, he also carries a personal motive. His younger brother never got the chance to face Canelo Alvarez, a missed opportunity that denied him a stage to prove his talent. Now, with a potential Canelo vs. Crawford bout looming, Jose has already made his choice. So, where does his loyalty lie? Jose Benavides recently appeared at the press conference for the highly anticipated showdown between David Morrell and David Benavides. During an interview with Fight Hub TV, he shared his thoughts on how he expects the fight to play out. Jose Benavides didn't hold back and confidently stated, Crawford's a beast, he's smart. He knows what he's doing regarding the opponent.
It seems like it's not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford against Madridov, people are going to say, "Oh, he had some hiccups." Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat. He's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the. What was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. He's beaten anybody that they put in front of him. He beat an undefeated fighter in Errol Spence that everybody thought was just like, one of the best fighters out there, which he was. He was one of the top fighters pound for pound out there, and he didn't just beat him. He dismantled him. He might have ruined him. We were talking about getting ruined in fights earlier. He might have ruined him. We don't know. He hasn't been back yet.
He conceded that although Canelo is the naturally larger fighter, a fight's result isn't solely determined by size. He added, Canelo, he's not that big of a guy. Obviously, he weighs more, but you can't take anything from Crawford. He goes in there and wins. He also conveyed his disappointment for his younger sibling. It sucks that my brother didn't get that opportunity. Only Canelo knows why that didn't happen, and he's got to keep moving forward, he lamented. More recently, though, Arum told Fight Hype that despite needing to gain 14 pounds for the challenge, he can't rule out Crawford. He added, "I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight because Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer, puncher, and he is totally ambidextrous, so he drives his opponent crazy, because the opponent trains to fight a right-handed fighter and ends up fighting a southpaw. That's what happened to Errol Spence. Spence trained to fight a right-handed fighter and all he saw was a southpaw. I think what Crawford is looking for, the British promoter, argues that although Crawford boasts exceptional skills and a keen ring IQ, his weight disadvantage will be a major factor when facing Canelo, who is naturally larger and more powerful." Hearn brought up Crawford's fight with 154-pounder Israel Madoff, implying that Crawford had a difficult time there. "I think he struggled against Madoff, who is a strong one." 54-pounder. Crawford wouldn't be the first to attempt. The challenge of moving up 2 weight classes to face Canelo Charlo made the leap from junior middleweight to super middleweight, only to be knocked down once by Canelo during a commanding unanimous decision win. Charlo, however, is not Crawford. The versatile 4-division champion, who has claimed undisputed status at junior welterweight, is better suited for a major weight jump. His skill set and speed would give him a distinct edge over Canelo, making him more prepared for the challenge. Climbing 14 lbs to face any elite super middleweight is already a formidable challenge. But going up against a pound-for-pound legend like Canelo, who has ruled the super middleweight division since 2020, is an entirely different level of difficulty. The obstacles Canelo and Crawford pose for one another, coupled with the remarkable achievements that have brought them to this moment, are what elevate a potential showdown between them to the level of a super fight. Israel Madria, who squared off against Terence Crawford last year, has offered his insights on the highly anticipated clash between his former rival and Canelo Alvarez. Omaha puncher claims that his superior ring IQ and status as one of the most complete boxers in the world will help him win in the battle. He told Boxing Scene Man, "We're going to see come fight time what my advantage is. I'm the type of guy who likes to feel my fighters out and adjust to what they're doing. I think that's my greatest attribute, to be able to figure out every opponent I've faced thus far." So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.